Next action on the track as well, a little way away, but here we look at the high jump.
Yeah, high jump competition. The bar is at 1.80 meters. We are in the second flight. We got 6 automatic qualifiers from flight 1.
That's crazy good. We have 6 boys at 195.
Very impressive, and that's just in one flight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I can't recall the last time we had a situation like that. As we look at Edwin Allen's TVJ Roberts, and that will be, I think, a third time failure at 1.80, so he exits at the opening height. Jaden Hilton of St. Jago, Jaden Wollaston of Herbert Morrison, Khalil Samuels of Calabar, and Kejon Williams of Titchfield, along with Dominic Clark of Jamaica College, have already cleared at 1.80. KC's Michael Neal, one of the favourites, he has passed the first 2 heights, 180 and 185. Now from Excelsior, Jaheim Herbert, and he goes clear third time at 1.80. Well, cut it close, but got the job done.
Yeah, 195 is a really big jump. I know they're class 1, but if that's the automatic standard and I already have 6 there, that's really something else.
And that will be a third failure for St. Catherine's Rashawn Richards, so he exits at the opening height as well. This is the second flight in qualifying for the Class 1 boys high jump competition. We'll give you the automatic qualifiers from the first flight. Unfortunately, Jaquan Suden, the silver medalist in the decathlon from Happy Grove, retired from the competition, having failed first time at 1.90. But Rajay Williams of Titchfield, Carlisle Tinglin of Cornwall College, Dejani Haynes of Kingston College, Santina Distin of St. Elizabeth Technical, Jaide James of Jamaica College, and Ainsworth Ferguson of Monroe College all secured automatic berths to the final on Saturday.
Yeah, we do have a bunch, just looking back at this performance list using the ISSA ranking system. We do have a bunch of athletes at 195 and better this season. Again, cannot overemphasize the value and role of these development meets and championships before boys and girls champs. Without that, we really don't have a proper mechanism to get the athletes here.
The bar raised to 1.85 meters. Jaden Hilton of St. Jago cleared first time at 1.80. And this is a height that he should comfortably get over. Well, he had the height, that's for sure, but takes the bar down. Jaden Hilton.
I remember if 195 would have been the automatic standard last year or the years before, because it just sounds really way, way, way up there. Admittedly, the record is way up at, what, 223?
Yeah, it might have been the automatic standard, but I don't think you had as many athletes getting over. Oh, decelerated into the bar, and that means he takes it down on his first attempt. That's Jaden Wollaston of Herbert Morrison, cleared second time at 180.
Yeah, speed. A lot of people underestimate the value of speed in the high jump, because the purpose of the speed is to carry you across the bar, not over the bar. Your height, your jumping is going to take you over. But once you're up in the air, you need some momentum to take you onto the pit. And that's what that speed will do for you. We go. And you say it's 190, Ricardo?
Yeah, first time clearance there for the Calabar athlete. Did get a clip off the bar, but manages to go clear. Khalil Samuels, first time clearance is at 180 and now at 185. Just what the doctor ordered for him.
So the coach advising the athlete that they must go up and over the bar.
Oh, lovely clearance that.
At 190. Oh, really? And but if that's from Titchfield, then, you know, they have a bit of history with the high jump. Right. Eagle not flying so well there. Does get the hips over, actually. That would have been Jaheim Herbert of Excelsior. Now from Jamaica College, Dominique Clark. And approach up, but hitting the bar on his way up. That's sure danger. Perhaps getting a little too close to the bar when you hit it on your way up.
Yeah, in last year's final, 5 boys cleared 195 or better. Of course, that field led by the outstanding Chavez Penn of Jamaica College at 2.08 meters.
So you're saying last year we had 5 in the final
in
over
the
195?
final over 195.
And here we now have
6 in qualifying.
And that's 6 so far.
One flight.
Yeah, 6 so far.
High jump qualifying in progress on the 4th morning of the ISSA Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Athletics Championships. Lots of semi-final action today as we go back to Jaden Hilton of St. Jago High School. Second attempt, and yes, that is a height that he certainly had in him and delivered on his second attempt. Second time clearance, so he continues in the competition and gives himself a shot of being in the final. Second attempt for Wollaston. He can't go clear. I was making the point, lots of semi-final action today. 200 meters, sprint hurdles, the 800 meters as well, semi-finals in all those events. Of course, we'll have the steeplechase and the 400 hurdles finals to close the show. And we'll also have 4x4 qualifying, sprint medley qualifying as well. So, big day of action. That was a better attempt from Jaheim Herbert of Excelsior, but still doesn't go clear. Needed 3 attempts at 1.80 and will have to take a third at 1.85 as well.
I thought we were at 190. You tell me, we're still at 185?
Still at 185.
Okay.
Second height. Now from Jamaica College, Dominic Clark. Second attempt. No. So he'll have to come back for a third attempt at this height as well. Now Wollaston getting some advice from his coach and getting ready again. This is an event that could be very good for Kingston College as they try to push Jamaica College all the way. Jamaica College taking a 47-point lead on the boys' side at the end of day number 3. And Wollaston got good height, but again, seemed as if he got really close to the bar.
Too close. The takeoff was just too close. And he needs to lean away from the bar on the last 2 or 3 strikes.
But it is a really competitive Class 1 boys high jump field that we are looking at this year. As Bruce pointed out, a number of athletes who have been 195 or better. Jaheim Herbert of Excelsior. This is his third and final attempt at 1.85 meters. 195 is what we're building up to, but he won't get there. He exits the competition at 1.85.
Perhaps Section 1 really was loaded, because that would be very unusual to have so many clearing 195.
Well, a few in this pool who were in the final a year ago and have the potential to be up at that 195. Kabiki Thomas of Wilmers, who has passed at 180 and 185, so that shows the level of confidence he has as the JC boys sprints up. Oh, goes clear.
Nicely
Lovely
done.
clearance. Great adjustments made through the run-up.
Coach got it right. Correct. Good speed, quick to the bar, good takeoff, got his hips up, being away from the bar the last 2 strikes, and executed a fantastic, fast, very
Flop.
I'm willing to bet, Maurice and Bruce, that we get at least 4 automatic qualifiers coming from this flight.
No, I know Ricardo's financial status has improved significantly with his YouTube channel. So when he says he wants to bet, we need to be careful because, yeah, his numbers when he puts his money on the table might be serious. So.
1.90 meters is what we're heading to, 1 height away from the automatic qualifying 195. There are some conversations that you don't have with the richest man in the room. You're going to be embarrassed. So I'll just leave that alone. Here is St. Jago's Jaden Hilton.
Ricardo doesn't want to speak to you, Maurice.
Maurice, I don't know why you would allow him to put that on you. Here's Jaden Hilton, 185, second attempt. Just saw that clearance. What does he deliver at 190? Inching closer to an opportunity to be in the champs final. Oh, lovely clearance that from Jaden Hilton. That first time miss at 185 has really sprung him into action, and he is absolutely flying now in this competition.
190, nicely done.
looks really good.
Yeah, that's 190 going to 2 meters.
Looks really good. A lot of height, bar clearance, good speed to the bar.
Here's Khalil Samuels of Calabar. Was in the final a year ago, trying to return in 2026. Finished just outside the points last season. 185 was his height in the final. Has cleared 185 here. Oh, crushes the bar again. Got the height, but came down on the bar.
Correct. More than had the height. In fact, he probably cleared 2 meters there and then on his way down. So look at us, viewers. Good approach. Looks like decent speed up and is way, way over Coach Wilson.
He did everything correct on the ground.
Right.
And just dropped his hips. Just dropped his hips during the bar clearance.
Yes, sir.
Oh, is that Neil?
Yeah, Neil enters the competition at 1.90 meters, having passed at 180 and 185, and no problems for him, easily over.
But it looks like he almost hurdled it, though. I mean, he, just practically.
But Bruce, if you notice that takeoff, it was maybe about just less than a meter
From the bar.
from the bar, and so he got all the rotational
My goodness.
movement. He looked fantastic.
Kajon Williams of Titchfield, his first attempt at 1.90. Clean card so far. And it continues to be a clean card.
All right, the high jump, is this a Raymond Richards, Romain Beckford?
No, it is excellent coaching at Titchfield High School with the jumps, vertical, horizontal jumps. And they have continued.
Is it Coach Leslie? You know these things quicker than me.
Well, it's a beautifully rounded program. Sprints, middle distance events, field events. Karen Grant is the head coach there at Titchfield. As Dominic Clark steps up for his first attempt. Needed 3 at 185. That didn't look convincing at all.
Was too close to the bar on his takeoff. But Karen Grant, a former 400-meter runner, and I think he hails from the West. I think he attended Racis, went to GC Foster College.
Of course.
Has done his stint and has now emerged as one of the leading coaches.
Yes, you're right. Karen Grant.
Yeah.
Big up to you, Karen.
Here is Kabiki Thomas now. He too passed at 180 and 185. Entering the competition at 1.90. Nice, smooth, easy run up. Oh, that looked like a warm-up effort. That was impressive.
Very impressive. Did you know this was my favorite event, or still is?
To watch or to do?
To coach.
I didn't think it was to do for 1 second.
But was upstaged by Marlon Gill. So I lost my job when Gill came to GC as a jumps coach. High jump, that is.
Here's Khalil Samuels now. His second attempt coming up at 190. Look good for it, his first attempt. This time he makes no mistake. Goes clear second time. And he is one step closer to being in the championship battle on Saturday afternoon.
Obviously, the athletes are getting their rhythm in terms of their run-up, their execution over the bar, and we're seeing the difference in terms of the performances. Again, just a tad too close on takeoff.
We need to find out what Karen Grant is doing at Titchfield, because the reality is, outside of Titchfield, and I guess Buff Bay to an extent, we're not seeing as many of the non-traditional schools causing...
In Portland?
Not just Portland, but...
In terms of the field events?
No, in terms of the high jump.
Oh,
and
okay.
Where I'm going with it is I'm kind of setting it up as we look at Niara McLeod's mummy on screen from Immaculate, is that the cost of a high jump bag and high jump bars and high jump uprights, again, could be a prohibiting factor for coaching the high jump.
Right, so you're back to equipment. I am in agreement. You could do extended elastic bands.
I tell you
for the
what,
bar.
I can tell you what Kieran Grant has done before he went to Titchfield. He was at Spot Valley where he coached Tyrese Reed over 800 meters, spent some time at Veer Technical as well. Tyrese Taylor was at Veer Technical at that time too, having transferred from Bogwalk, and then last season he had the 800 Class 1 winner and Carifta Games on the 2800 champion as well, Siobhan Jarrett at Titchfield. So he's before Titchfield, and even maybe up to this year, he was more known for his exploits as a middle distance coach. But that Titchfield program, very, very well rounded. Oh, that was his best attempt, Clark of JC, but it's not good enough to keep him in the competition. And just to give some context, Bruce, this season, a real contrast between the girls' high jump and the boys' high jump. True. The quality of the girls' high jump has dropped significantly. On the boys' side, though, 8 boys in Class 1 have gone 2 meters or better, including 4 of them at 205 or better. Unfortunately, though, we have lost one of them, because one is Jaquan Suden, the decathlon silver medalist from last night. He retired from the competition. No doubt the exertions of the decathlon taking a toll.
Yeah, I was going to ask. And again, it is 10 events, including his high jump in the decathlon. So he has already jumped the high jump here.
We are at the qualifying height next, 1.95 meters. It does beg the question. I remember when the decathlon, when the multi-events on the boys' side was changed from HEP to deck, the debate was whether they should be allowed to do any other individual event. They are allowed to do one other event, and Jaquan Suden here retiring, and I guess it brings the question, should they, or after 10 events in 2 days, should we be saying that's it for a 5-day championship?
Why would you want to do another event after doing 10 events?
Why? For points, I guess.
So I just saw Olive McNaughton, who I believe is a field referee here at Champs, looking at the high jump to make sure it's 195, except she wasn't wearing her glasses. So I'm not sure if she was able to verify it. Olive is my friend. I can tease her.
Here is Jaden Hilton, first to attempt the qualifying height in flight 2 of the high jump for Class 1 boys. We already had 6 advancing from the first flight. Let's see what we get here. Oh, that wasn't a bad effort at all.
And so as they continue to jump and they become more fatigued, it's critical that they keep the technique tight. You notice that the legs went apart in executing the bar clearance.
Must be great to have the type of confidence in an event like this, to skip the first 2 heights, save on energy for what really matters. And that's the 195. You could skip everything and just get to 195 and clear that, and you're through to the final. Here's Khalil Samuels of Calabar. Remember, 9th last year. Good triple jumper as well. One of the leaders of the Calabar jumps program. What does he deliver here? Deep in focus and concentration.
He knows this is what he needs to automatically qualify. He's up.
Oh, again had the height, but came down on it.
Let's see what happened with that. The dislodging of the bar. Let's see what happened.
Definitely over height-wise. Here's a brilliant angle, but comes down.
Comes down. Should have held the hips somewhat.
Yeah, just dropped the hips. And the buttocks took care of the bar.
One of the pre-meet favorites, Neil.
Michael Neil.
Easily.
Yeah, started his high school career at Jonathan Grant High. He is transferred to Kingston College and he continues to sail. Was registered for champs for Jonathan Grant in 2021. That was the post-COVID champs. But he didn't actually compete. Check that on roster athletics recently. Didn't see a mark for him, so a DNS. But here he is in the purple and white of Kingston College. And he is in fine form this season. He is the first to qualify automatically from Flight 2.
Doing everything right. Everything technically correct.
Can you imagine when the KC coaches saw the tall, slim king from Jonathan Grant? It's like, we have a space for you.
Here is Keyshawn Williams of Titchfield. He has been clean so far to this point. Oh, this time he gets too close to the bar. He's had to be making a lot of adjustments in his run-up. This time he just got way too close and the bar too high for him this time around.
And Bruce mentioned it earlier. He slowed to the bar. So he started quickly, then slowed to the bar.
That's his first miss of the competition. Here is Kabiki Thomas of Wilma's. Passed at 180 and 185. Cleared first time at 1.90. He's had a very good season, Thomas. Best mark this campaign, 2.05 meters. One of the favorites for gold. And you can see it there in the confidence of that delivery. Kabiki Thomas becomes the second from Flight 2 to automatically book his place in the final. And we have 8 automatic qualifiers now for the championship event on Saturday.
Yeah, not touching the bar, no challenge, no issues. Well trained, well prepared, and he delivered.
And again, they're from schools with a strong tradition in the vertical jumps.
I'd say to you the record held by Christoph Bryan of Wilmers, formerly held at some point. Jermaine Mason must have had that record. And so the Wilmerian comes in with a lot of confidence, as you said.
Was Fenton a high jumper?
Yeah. But that was years ago, Willow. I don't know that you remember that far back. So Ricardo can go and research it because he wasn't around.
Remember, I was next door, so I watched all three.
Here is Jaden Hilton now. His second attempt. Oh, once again he has the height, but again came down on the bar. Not holding the hips.
It almost seems like the high jump official was distressed by that. Again, viewers, look at this. He gets up. He does hit it with his back, but I feel had he not rushed it, Maurice, he may have had a better chance.
Yes, maybe if he was able to just tuck that chin in some more, then you're demonstrating the movement, Bruce.
Yeah, let's pretend there's a camera in here.
The one thing I'll say, of all the jumpers we've seen today, he is not the most technically gifted at this stage. And so with improvements over the next 2 years, he could really develop into a high-quality jumper. Here's Samuels of Calabar. His second attempt coming up with a bar at 195. Can he get the job done? Can he qualify automatically? Nice bouncy run up. Once again, it was a good effort, but takes it down. Khalil Samuels, he is in 11th overall at this stage, so even if he doesn't clear the automatic height, he will still be in with a chance. But you want to make it sure.
You want to make it sure. Got a lot of height again.
Actually, I would have thought that if they already know the top 12, they should stop the competition. Meaning...
Yes, I completely understand.
Yeah, we don't need them to clear the 195. If in Flight 1, we didn't have enough people to make it.
Here is Williams. Oh, he takes it down. Second attempt as well.
The point being, let's say they fall out for the rest and they still go through, then you don't even need to force them.
I guess it's because it's a championship, so...
well, meaning if you've already narrowed to 12 and I'm not suggesting, because I'm trying to check here, if indeed the final 12 has been finalized, then you don't need them to clear the 195 because it won't make a difference.
Well, I was thinking as a coach, having had my athlete one jump clear the bar, he's now rested. I want the other athlete to do some exertion so I can have an advantage.
Here is Jaden Hilton, third and final attempt coming up. He is in 10th position overall, so even if he doesn't clear again, he's in with a great shot. Oh, got even more height this time, but not able to propel those hips, and the buttocks keeps taking the bar down. And so he exits with his best mark being 1.90 meters, but he is holding 10th position at this stage.
I suspect he will then go through, but I think we only have, one more athlete still in the competition? Because the others, you're not allowed to jump in ahead at 195 either.
Yeah. Here is Samuels of Calabar.
Oh, no, there are two athletes, I think, left.
Third and final attempt coming up at 1.95 meters. In a qualifying position, either way. But he wants to leave no doubt that he's in the final. Hurries to the bar and clears it beautifully. Clipped it this time as well, but this time not enough to take it down. And Samuel secures his automatic ticket to the Class 1 Boys High Jump Final. Beautiful jumping.
Sure, that's the beauty of the sport, when you communicate with your coach and you make the adjustments. See the speed that he got to the bar. The takeoff was not too close. Held the hips as best as he could and got the clearance.
And then says the coach, I knew how to do that all along.
Here is Williams now of Titchfield. He can make me look pretty smart by becoming the fourth automatic qualifier from this flight. I told Bruce would get at least 4. Oh, almost. Almost.
Give you some credit. Give you some points for that, Ricardo.
1.95 meters. Can't go clear.
Can go clear. Can. I think he can.
Well,
he did
this
not.
time.
He
He did not go clear this time. That's a fact.
But it looked really good. Once you get your hips over, it's now about the clearance. You've cleared it. You now need to just protect that jump by pulling the legs over, rolling out of it.
Bringing your chin into your chest.
Yeah, so we've essentially seen them all here. Looks like even Dominic Clark of Jamaica College, who cleared 185, will sneak into the final in that 12th position. Jaheim Herbert of Excelsior, he cleared 180. He won't advance. Wollaston of Herbert Morrison, his 180 will not be good enough either. He finishes 13th. Tajay Roberts of Edwin Allen eliminated as well. Jaden Hilton of St. Jago will advance, but we knew all of that before they completed the 195. So yeah, you are fully right, Bruce. They could have stopped that competition a few jumps ago.
What happens internationally is that they would have had both flights competing simultaneously, so that no flight would have an advantage over the other, and they tend to try to raise the bars simultaneously, whereas in this case what would have happened is flight 2 could have an advantage in that they're like, oh, well, I'm already in it, I'm going to stop jumping and saving my energy, as Coach Wilson had said. So that's why internationally, and if you watch the Olympics, the World Champs, you'll see 2 high jump